3.13 and 3.14. Okay. If you are installing Django 5.0, it is compatible from 3.10 to 3.14. If you are installing Django 4.0, which is compatible on Python 3.8 to 3.12, right? Yes. Yeah, I'll tell you. So just install it by saying pip install followed by package name. And once you install it, you can verify the version, which version of Django is installed by using Python -m. M is nothing but module. M is nothing but what here? Module. And which module it is? Django module and -, version. So that will return the current version or the version which is installed in your system. Okay. And after that, I said how to use. Means in order to develop a project in Django, you required an ID. ID is nothing but integrated development environment. It's nothing but editor. It is nothing but editor. And which editor are you using it? VS Code, PyCharm, Autumn. But I'm telling you how to develop it using VS Code, and later we'll see how to develop it using PyCharm. But in real time, you'll be using either VS Code or PyCharm. But most of the people uses what? VS Code, right? So then after that, I said what is Django project is. Okay. For developing a web application using Django, the first step is you have to create a project. What do you have to do? You have to create one project. So creating a project is nothing but creating one folder. Creating a project is nothing but creating one folder, because whenever you are talking about application, is it application contain one program or more than one program? More than one program. And every project is having one structure. It is having one directory structure. For example, if you are developing a web application using HTML, you create a directory structure or not? Yes. Where you store images in images folder, audio files in audio files folder, video files in video files folder, CSS files in CSS files folder. Okay. You create one directory structure where you organize all the files. You create one directory structure where you organize all the files. In the same way, if you want to create a project in Django, you have to first what you have to do, you have to create one project. So whenever you create a project, it will create one folder. Whenever you create a project, it will create one folder, and that folder contain what? A project is a collection of web applications. A project is a collection of what? Web applications, and it is also having which files? Configuration files. Which configuration files? Project configuration files. So whenever you create a project, okay, it will create one folder. Whenever you create a project, it will create one folder, and within that folder, or you can create either one application or more than one application. So a Django project may contain one application, or a Django project may contain more than one application. 1 minute. Yeah, sorry. Now, if you see this, so project, whenever you talk about Django project, a Django project is not one application, it is a collection of applications. It means when you are building a project, that project may split into number of applications. You may develop as one project or you may develop into number of applications. If the project is very small, then you build as one application. Means a project may contain one application or more than one application. Suppose I said example is like you are developing a project for HDFC, and this project may contain loans is one application. Okay, accounts is one application. Security is what? Another application. Means your project is divided into how many applications? Three applications. Suppose you are developing e-commerce application project. Now products is one application. Suppliers is one application. Customers is what? One application. Means when your project is very big and there are so many people are there in your project, then you divide that into what number of applications. Otherwise, you may build it as one application. It may be one application or it may be more than one application. Then after that, I said how to create a Django project. So these are the basic steps how to create a project. Okay. These are the basic steps. Yes. Today I'll upload the notes in Google Classroom. So for your batch, Google Classroom is created. Please take Google Classroom code from admin. Okay. So all the notes from beginning, I'll upload in the Google Classroom. Okay. Now today I'll upload all the notes from beginning onwards today till date. I'll upload all the notes. Okay. Yes. Why you are thinking here? Uh, who are you to create a group? Mohit Sharma. Okay. Who are you to create a group? If anything happens, are you responsible? If anything happen, are you responsible? Uh, are you responsible if anything happens? Mohit Sharma, are you responsible? Why are you creating groups? What is the use of it? What do you discuss? What do you discuss here? Uh, are you responsible if anything happens? Don't do such a stupid things and don't join. Don't join if anyone create any groups. Understood? Okay, so do if you have any doubts, I'm there, right? What do you discuss here? And don't join. Don't join in such a groups. Okay, understood? So I'm telling you from your betterments only. What do you charge here? Huh? Yesterday, I think Friday only, I think Thursday. New batch started. I've given my telegram, and no one can see actually how many people are there. Almost 15,000 students are there in my telegram. अभी फालतू लोग रहते ना. हाँ. लड़की का नाम दिखा है तो खत्म. व्हाट इज द यूज? यू आर अ प्रोफेशनल शेयर. वो लड़की आके रो रही हूँ. व्हाट इज द यूज ऑफ इट? व्हाट यू डू विद दैट? यू पीपल आर इंजीनियर्स और समथिंग एल्स. अच्छी बात है क्या? क्या करते हैं यार फालतू में? कौन है भी नहीं मालूम. एसेडर. अरे लिव इट. अभी नहीं बोलता था मैं वो. उस दिन हुआ बोल के आज बोला मैं ये. इट इज नॉट गुड यार. मोहित अभी आपको प्रॉब्लम हो जाता. हु क्रिएटेड ग्रुप? दैट एडमिन विल. मालूम है? दैट एडमिन विल गो. डोंट डू लाइक दैट यार. ओके. यस. सो दैट गूगल क्लासरूम. मोहित सॉरी इफ आई से रॉन्ग. सॉरी. वो भी बोल रहा हूँ मैं फिर. ऐसे फील हो जाते हैं ना. सॉरी. बट वो लड़की रोई यार. अच्छा नहीं लगता. डोंट डू दैट यार मोहित. क्यों पर्सनल? व्हाई यू वांट टू डू लाइक दैट? ओके. यस. ओके राइट. अरे यू डोंट थिंक यार ऑल ऑलवेज ऑल माइंडसेट्स विल नॉट बी द सेम राइट. आप अच्छे हैं. सब लोग अच्छे रहते हैं क्या? यू आर वेरी गुड. ओके बट ऑल द पीपल विल नॉट बी द सेम राइट. द वे हाउ यू थिंक. आई एम नॉट थिंकिंग द सेम वे. अभी कब क्या होता है नहीं मालूम. राइट. सो ऑलवेज यू शुड बी अ सेफ साइड. ओके. राइट. सो आपके लिए बोल रहा हूँ यार. आपकी मर्जी. बाद में कुछ होए तो डायरेक्टली इट विल कम टू यू ओनली. ओके. राइट. अभी सुबह सुबह दिमाग खराब. हाँ. सही है ना. हाँ सी है. व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग यू प्रोजेक्ट. ये पूरा आई मीन सिंपल. फॉर यू इट इज सिंपल. बट दिस पीपल has become very difficult. हैंडल बहुत डिफिकल्ट रहता है. आपको सेंसिटिव है वो. क्रिएटिंग ग्रुप. बट इट्स अ सेंसिटिव इश्यू. राइट. यस. So what is a Django project is? A Django project is a collection of web applications and configuration files. Okay. Now, if a project may contain one web application or a project may contain more than one web application. If the project is small, you create one web application. If the project is very big, then you create multiple applications and you integrate. You can integrate one web application with what? Another web application. You can integrate one application with another application, right? Now I said like this banking project. Now there is loans app, there is accounts app, there is security apps. Like this, you have a multiple applications. Now, one person may use only which app? Loans application. One person may use which application? Security application. But that security application may be linked with what? Accounts application. That may be linked with what? Loans application. This integration you can do it. But that is when if the project is very big. Otherwise not required, right? So how to create a project? I said, open the VS Code and open the terminal. Later, I'll tell you how to create a virtual environment. Virtual environment. So virtual environment for every project, generally you create a virtual environment. Okay, but now I'm not telling you because you are in the beginning. Okay, later I'll tell you how to create a virtual environment because you provide some environment for your project. Means you try to install all the dependencies. You'll try to install all the dependencies where in the virtual environment, but not in the physical directory, right? So whenever you want to deploy it, you just move that virtual environment into the production server. So later I'll tell you what is virtual environment and what is the use of creating a virtual environment. But now we are directly creating a project. Okay, right? So how you are creating a project is by using one command. What is the name of the command? Django admin. What is the name of the command? Django admin is a command or command line utility for managing Django projects and application. What you can do by using Django admin, you can create project, you can create use, you can manage the applications, you can manage the what do you call it as server. All this you can do it using Django admin. But most of the times you'll use a Django admin throughout your Django only for creating what project. Okay, after creating a project, there will be another command line utility provided by Django project called manage.py. So Django admin start a project, and what is the name of this is project name. Any name you can give it. So I said here Django admin start a project, project one. What is the name of the project I've given? Project 1. Then project will be created or not? Yes. Creating a project is nothing but it will create one folder. It will create one folder. It will create one folder. What is the name of that folder? It will create a folder with what name? Project name. It is create a it will create a folder with what name? Project name. So what is the name of your project? Project ones here. So every project is having a directory structure. So Django admin is a command. It will create one directory structure. Means it will tell you where to store what. Means you have to follow those rules and regulations. Okay. So you have to write this code only here. You have to do the configuration only in this file. So you have to follow those rules and regulations for developing what? Web application. So once a project is created, inside this project, now there is one file, there is one program. What is the name of this? Manage.py. What is the name of this program? Manage.py. Manage.py. What is manage.py? I said again. What is manage.py? See, project container folder contains a package with what name? Project name, and there is one program. What is the name of the program? Manage.py. Have you done this? Okay, no. Okay, now, okay. Today I'll upload the notes. You do practicals. Okay, do from beginning. So what is manage.py? Manage.py is a Python program or command line utility. This command or program is used for performing the following operations. What operations you can do it? You can create application, database configuration, managing static resources, running the server, creating super users, moving to Django shell, debugging. All this you can do it by using one command line utility called manage.py. Understood, right? So how to create, next we'll see how to create the application, and then we'll see what will be there inside the application. So whenever you create a project, the project is created with one folder with what name? Whenever you create a project, it will create a project with, it will create one folder with what name? Project name. That is called as a project container folder. That folder is what? project container folder, and inside that folder, it will create one package with what name? Project name. It will create one package with what name? Project name. And one file, one program will be created. And what is the name of that? Manage.py. It will create one program called manage.py. Nothing more on this here. It is very easy. It is very easy, right? So manage.py. Now how to create an application? But what is this package contain? I'll explain that. Okay, how to create what? Application. Application. How to create application. How to create application? How to create application? Okay. So you can create an applications here. What are the basic steps? Basic steps. Already VS Code is there, right? All of you? VS Code is there. Okay, very good. What are the basic steps for creating VS Code you have to install? What are the basic steps for creating application? First one is just here. Open VS Code. You cannot create an application without project. Remember that. You cannot create an application without project. Compulsory, you have to create project and then you have to create the application. Already we created project or not? Yes. Open folder. Open folder. Where is this? Django 9am. And what is the name of this? Project 1. Project 1 or not? Yes. Project 1. Already we created project. Inside this project, you have to create application. What do you have to do first? Open. Open what? Open which folder? Project folder. Without open the project folder. Already created project or not? Yes. Open that project. Shall I tell you again from beginning? Creating project? Follow your. If you say yes, I'll tell you again. How to create a project? See here. How to create a project? देखो यार. देखो फिर बोल रहा हूँ मैं. Again, I'm telling you how to create a project. No problem. You can ask any number of times here. समझ में आना. How to create a project? So basic steps for creating project and application. Both I'll tell you. Project and application. An application is never created without project. Remember that. First thing is open. Open what? VS Code. Open the VS Code. Second is open. What you should open here? Terminal. Terminal, you have to open it. Terminal. Open the terminal, VS Code, and view. What do you say here? Terminal. देखो यार, terminal is open. Where you want to create project? Where you want to create project, open that folder. I want to create my project in my folder. This is my folder. Okay. CD. CD means what? Change the directory. CD means what? Change the directory. Now I'm inside my folder. What is my folder? Django 9am. Because I want to create a project in this folder. Okay, I want to create project in this folder. Just open the terminal. Dekho here. I'm just copying all the steps. How you have to do it. Okay. Now fourth one is create a project. How you create a project? Saying Django Tell me. Hyphen. Admin. Django admin starter. Project. Give the project name. What is my project name is? Project 2. What is the project name is? Project 2. Now project is created or not? Yes. Project is created. Just type the command like this. Django admin start the project. Project 2. Whenever project is created, it will create one folder with what name? Project name. It will create one folder with what name? Project name. So what is the name of the folder? Project 2. And inside this folder, it will create one package with what name? Project name. And one program called manage.py. You don't require to do this. It is created automatically. The structure of the project is created what? Automatically, you don't require to do anything. Okay, na? Right. Then what do you do next? Open the project. CD. Okay, change the directory and project to. CD means what? Change the directory. Open the project. Because where will you create an application? Where you create an application within the project. So you would open which folder? Project folder. You have to open the project folder. Hmm. Open the project folder. Open the project folder here. Okay. So open the project folder CD. And what is the name of the project is? Project 2. Now inside the project folder, there you go. Inside the project folder, what do you have to write? Python manage.py. What is manage.py? Is a command line utility or program. It is a command line utility or what? Program given by whom? Django for creating applications, users, migrations, shell. If you want to execute all this, you can execute it by using which command? Manage.py. It is a command line utility. It is a program. To this program, you are giving some commands. What is the command I am giving? Start application. How to create an application? Start application and give the name of the application. What is the name of the application? Application 1. What is the name of the application? Application 1. Python manage.py. Start application and application 1. Now your application also created. Project is created and inside the project you also created what? Application. Application also created. That's all. Very easy. बहुत easy है यार. Okay, क्या करना है? Just open VS Code. Okay, terminal. Django admin. Start project. Create a project. Then go to the project and create an application. Khatam. Now open the project in VS Code. Okay, open file. What do you say? Open folder. Open your project. Open your project. Your project. Open your project in what? VS Code. It's nothing but you have to open the folder. File. What do you have to say? Open folder. Where is the folder is? Project 2. Select the folder. Now you can see the project is open or not. Yes. And in this, now this is project 2, application 1, project 2, manage.py. What do you do it? Open. How you open it? File, file, open folder. Which folder? Open which folder? Project folder. When you open the project folder at left side, this is a project explorer or not? Yes. Here you find a lot of things here. See. देखो यार ये पूरा क्या है? All these are what? अरे what is the extension of this files? What is the extension? dot py means all these are which programs? Python programs. Are you written or already written? Already written. You have to insert the code. These files are already created. All these are already created, but you have to write the code. You have to do the configuration. You have to do a lot of things inside these programs. It means as a Django developer, you need to write the code only by following the rules given by whom? Django. Getting or not? Now Django tells now you want to write this code in this program. You write this code only in this program. Now you want to develop a model, then write this model in which program? Models.py. You want to write a view, then write that view program in which program? Views.py. You want to write some test cases, then write in which program? Test.py. Getting or not? So it is created inbuilt project structure. It is created inbuilt project structure. So project container, project container folder consists of, consists of, project container folder consists of how many? How many things will be there? Three things. What is the first one is? What is the first one? Application folder. What is the second one is? Project, project. Actually, it is called as application folder is one package. Application folder is one package. And there is one more package. There is one more package with what name? It will create one more package with what name? Project name. And there is one module called manage.py. Manage.py. So whenever you see this package, which package? A package with what name? Project name. And there is an application, and there is one more package with what name? Application name. So how many packages are there here? Two packages. One is application one more is project two. But you can have any number of applications. You can have any number of applications, but package with a project name is created how many times? One time. One time, right? Now inside this, you find a lot of files. So application folder consists of application folder consists of consists of the following modules. It is having these modules. What are these modules are and what is the use of each and every module? It means whenever application is created, it will create a package with what name? Application name. Whenever application is created, whenever application is created, okay, manage.py create. What it create? Array. Whenever application is created, manage.py create what? Package with what name? Application name. It will create a package with what name? Application name. In that, it will include lot of modules. Okay, what are these modules you have is one is views.py. Second one is models.py. Third one is admins.py. Fourth one is apps.py. There is a okay test.py. All these are various modules. All these are various modules. Various modules. Hmm, Just a minute here. I'll explain. Don't worry. See here. There is admin.py, apps.py, models.py, test.py, and one more is views.py. Okay, right? Yes. So what are this each module is? Okay, so application folder consists of the following modules or whenever application is created, manage.py create a package with what name? Application name. And in that, it will try to include various modules. Views.py is one module, models.py is one module, admins.py is one module, apps.py is one module, and test.py is another module, right? Yes. Then what is exactly each and everything? I'll explain it. Okay. And there is one more. There's one more package it will create with what name? Project name. And what that package contain? Configuration files. Okay, that contain configuration files. So project Project folder contains the project configuration modules. Project configuration module. I said project folder. This is a project folder and this is a project container folder. What is the name of the project container folder? Project 2. What is the name of the project folder is? Project 2. This is a container folder and this is what? Project folder. This is a container folder. Outer side is what? Container folder. 1 minute here. Just what happened here? Yes. Okay, no problem. So now this is contain और एक प्रॉब्लम है देखो. ओके. आदत पड़ जाता है यार आप लोगों को. नहीं सुधरते आप लोग. हाँ, नहीं सुधरते. हम्म. सुधरते नहीं सुधरते. नहीं सुधरते यार. मैं बोला ना. वो आदत है. इज देयर इन योर ब्लड. हाँ. Yes or no? What what is the use of reading charts? उन्होंने कैप्स में डाला स्मॉल में डाला क्यों? कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्या? हाँ? नहीं सुधरते बोला ना मैं. हाँ? नहीं सुधरते यार. हाँ. अभी लड़ लो यार सब लोग. हाँ? मैं बोला ना नहीं सुधरते बोला. हाँ? खाली पीली वो लगाना. हाँ? अच्छा चल रहा ना. डिस्टर्ब करना इसको. हाँ? इसलिए क्या करते? क्या करना बोलो यार. हाँ? रिमूव. व्हाट शुड आई रिमूव? होस्ट एंड कोस्ट. बस हो गए ना. हाँ? होस्ट एंड कोस्ट बोलो तो अभी क्या होता? किससे चार्ट कर सकते हैं आप? किससे यार? मेरे से ही चार्ट कर सकते. You cannot see the messages of any others. हाँ, ये लाता है यार. मैं बोला ना, your blood is like that. Project folder contains the configuration modules. What are these configuration modules? asga.py, settings.py, urls.py, wsga.py. So one project contain only one project folder. One project contain only one project folder, and this project folder contain number of modules. What is the name of this is asga.py, asga.py, wsga.py, urls dot urls dot py, settings dot py, right? So you have to remember, as a Django application developer, if anybody asks you how many modules will be there in application, what are the default modules created when you create application? जब भी आप application create करे तो कितने modules create होता? बोलो यार. How many modules they create? How many modules? Four, five, four or five? Five modules. What is the first one is views.py. Second is models.py, admins.py, apps.py, test.py. Apart from this default modules, you also create your own modules. Apart from this default modules, you also create your own modules. Understood? Apart from these inbuilt modules, you also create your own modules. Okay. Then whenever project folder is created, the project folder is created with how many modules? Four modules. What is the first one is asga.py. Second one is wsga.py. Third one is urls.py. Fourth one is settings.py. Okay, right? So this is called which folder? Project configuration folder. And it contains project configuration modules. It means this is belongs to one application or all the applications. Or this is belongs to one application or all the applications. All the applications exist within the project. You are not configuring one application. You are configuring all the applications exist within the project. Okay, right? So let me tell you first. So these modules, just I'll try to explain you what is the use of views.py, what is the models.py, what is admins.py, what is apps.py, and test.py. So all these are Python programs. Don't think something else. Okay, na? Right. So views.py. I said Python Django application, you develop it by using one architecture. What is that architecture is? MVT. What is MVT stands for? Model View and Template. Model View and Template. It uses one architecture called Model View and Template. So view is a program. What is a view? Is a program where you write the view program in views.py. View is one program and where you are writing that in views.py. What is the responsibility of view? It is a controller. View is like what? Controller. You are giving input. You are giving input to what? View, and output is generated by what? View. Now view responsibility is taking the request. Request is nothing but input, and generating output. Output is nothing but response. Request is nothing but input and response is nothing but what? Output. A request to response. Now a view, generally you'll say view acts as a controller which takes the input from the client, which will take the input from client and process it and generate what? Output by taking the help of template, by taking the help of model. Who communicate with the database? Model. Who communicate with the model? View. How view will generate the output? By taking the help of HTML, and that HTML is nothing but what? Template. For example, see here. For example, for example, for example, assume that, for example, assume that you write like this, facebook.com. Okay. Now this is a front end. Yes or no? You enter username and you enter the password and then click on what? Login. Once you click on the login, this data is given, right? This input is given to one program. Which program? View. Which program? View. Backend only. But backend, what is there? One program which take the input from whom? Client. So which program will read our input from the client? View. What is the responsibility of view? Taking the input. Taking the input from where? Front end. Front end is nothing but HTML or not? Yes. So whatever request you are sending or whatever request is sent by the client, that request is first sent to what? View. And view will receive this request and communicate with the database using model and communicate with the template and generate what? Output. And you develop views in two ways. One is function based views and one more is what? Class based views. I mean, first one is without using object oriented programming, and second one is using object oriented programming. You learn two things, right? Suppose when you're working with threads, you develop a threads in how many ways? Two ways. One is function based threads, and one more is what? Class based threads. Here also you develop a views. How many ways? Two ways. One is function based views and one more is what? Class based. You can write a view in the form of function. You write a view in the form of class. But where you write? Where you write? Where you write here in views dot py. कहाँ पे लिखते views कहाँ पे लिखते view function कहाँ पे लिखते view class कहाँ पे लिखते you will write in views dot py. So what is a view? Is a program. View is a program or not? Yes. What is the responsibility? Taking the input. Taking what? Input. Input is nothing but a request. Input is nothing but a request. Who give the request? Who send a request? Client. Who send a request? Client. So whatever request sent by the client, that request received by whom? View. And after receiving the request, what it will do? Process it and generate output. Understood? So you need to know what is view. If you don't know view, means you don't know Django, because everything you write in views only. Everything you write in views only. बाद में नहीं बोलना अरे view क्यों लिख रहे? Yes or no? You should know why you are writing a view. You should know that. Okay. So now Django application, I already said Django application is developed using an architecture called what is this? MVT. Okay. M stands for, I said, model, and V stands for view, and T stands for template. Model, view, template. So view is a Python program. View is what? A Python program. Okay, which receives what? Which receive what it receives? A request or input from whom? Client, comma, process it and generate what? Output. What is the output is called? Response. This output is called as a response. So okay, view acts as a controller. View acts as a controller, which control the flow of execution of what? Web application. You can say view is an entry point. View is a entry point. Entry point means always you send input to what? View only. View communicate with what? Model and what? Templates. View communicate with model and template. Communicates with model and template. It is like this. Simple. Okay. This is a client. Okay. Client send a request. Whom? Backend, right? Backend or not? Yes. At backend, which program will send a request to view? It'll send a request to which program? Views.py. Views.py. And this views.py, what it is doing? Taking the input. What is the input is? A request. What is the input is? A request. And this view uses. What this view uses? Model. This view uses model and communicate with. It uses model and communicate with database. It uses model and communicate with database and read the data from database. After reading data from database, it will give that data to whom? View. And view generate the output. But how it will generate the output? Using what it uses now? Template. Template is nothing but HTML or not? Yes. This template is nothing but HTML. Include the template. It will include the template and then generate. What it generate? Output. And what is the output is? Response. This output is nothing but response. See here, this is a flow, very simple flow. So client send a request to the view and view include or view communicate with the database using model and generate the output using template. So what do you write in view? Input and output logic. Okay. So that is what you have to understand. But later I'll tell you how many ways can you develop a view, right? Then next one is tell me view is clearer. Any dots are there in views? Dot py. Any dots are there in this views.py? Now clear, right? Okay. What do you write in view? Which logic? Input and output. So it is what? View is what? Controller. Okay. And which will control the flow of execution of web application because view communicate with the model and template. So is it possible client to communicate with model? No. Is it client communicate with a template? No. Client never communicate with model. Client never communicate with what? Template. Client always communicate with what? View. Any input you want to give, anything you want to do it. All the things you write only inside which program? Views.py. Understood? So that is what is the meaning of view or views.py. Then next one is models.py. But how to develop a view, I'll tell you. How to develop a view, I'll tell you. But I'm just telling you which program is for what. So second one is models.py. Model represent actually model represent what? Database. A models.py. A models represent what here? Database. What is there in database? What is there in database? Tables. What is there in database? Table. What table contain? Data. So what is models.py represent? Database. And that contain the structure of what? Models. Models are nothing but what? Tables. So here models represent what? Database. Okay, inside the models.py, what you represent? Model. What is the model is? Table. What is the model is? Table. Okay. Now, if you want to communicate with a database, okay, what database contain? Tables. Then which table you want to communicate? How you represent that table in the form of one class? I say no. How you communicate with a database in Django by using object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming. A class represent what? Table. Instance represent what? Row. A class represent table. Instance represent what? Class represent table. Instance represent what? Row. Whenever you create an object of a class, that object is called what? A row. So what you represent in models.py, in models.py is a collection of what? Models. Models.py represent database which contain the structure of which one? Models, which is used for developing which one? Model. Because a model which represent a table inside what? Database. It is like this here. No confusion. MySQL, you know it, right? MySQL, yes or no? What do you do in MySQL? Below here, what do you do in MySQL? Can I create table directly? No or yes? No. You cannot create table directly. What do you do first? Create. What do you create first? Database. You create database. Assume that my database name is database 1. What is my database name is? Database 1. I created database. Inside the database, what do you do it? What you create? Tables. Inside the database, you create tables. And inside the tables, what you store? Data. And this data are nothing but rows or not? Yes, this data is nothing but rows. Okay. Now same thing. How can I represent here? Now models.py. What is this models.py represent? Database. This represent what? Database. Database models. Database what? Models. Model means table. Here it is what? Class. Each table represent what? Class. Each table is one class. Each table is called as one class. Class. Assume that class name is what? Employee. Employee. What is employees? Model. Employee is what? Model. Model means table. Model means what? Table. What is the name of the table? Employee. Means you are communicating with this. You are communicating with this table by using what? A class. A class represent what here? Table. A class represent what here? Table. Anything you want to perform on this, you are trying to perform it by using what? Object oriented only. Okay, so what is models.py? Models.py represents what? Database. And models.py is a program. See, .py means you'll think something else, right? It is a Python program. It is a Python program. What is the extension for any Python program? .py. So models.py is used for representing what you are representing. Database. Database what? Models. Models means you are representing what? Database? Tables. You are representing what here? Database? Tables. Database tables. But where you are representing this database tables within models.py. Within models.py. Right? So then next one is admins.py. Admins.py. Now models is clear. You learn this is separate chapter will be there. Model. What is ORM? What is the advantage of ORM? How to build a model? How to communicate with the database using what? Models. How to insert data? How to update the data? How to delete the data? How to retrieve the data without using which commands? SQL commands. Directly using what? Object oriented programming. That is nothing but ORM. All this you learn. Don't worry. But I'm just giving you which module is for what. Which module is used for what. Right? So then admins.py. Admins.py. Admins. I said in the features, Django features, I said the advantage of using Django is provided inbuilt, inbuilt what? Inbuilt application called admins. By using this admin, what you can manage users, you can manage the groups, you can manage the permissions, all this you can do it by using which module? Admin. One application called which one? Admin application. One application will be there. One application will be there, and what is the name of the application? Admin. Admin is the name of the application. And if you want your model, you want your models to be managed using admin application, then you do that by using which one? Admins.py. Admins.py. Why you use this admins.py is to manage the models. To manage the models using which application? Admin application. To manage the models using which application? Admin application. Admin want to insert data into employee. Admin want to update the data of employee. Admin want to delete the data from what? Employee. What is employee? Model. Then I should give this model to whom? Admin application. Then how can I do that configuration in admins.py? Are getting or not? Admin is one separate application given by whom? Django. Admin is there. Admin application is there, right? Using that application, I want to manage what? Models. Means I want to insert data, I want to update, I want to delete, I want to perform these operations on which one? Model. I don't want to create a separate application for managing certain things. I want to use which application? Inbuilt application. What is that inbuilt application? Admin. What is that inbuilt application? Admin. Admin application is created. You don't require to create that. That application already created, and using that application, I want to perform operations on what? Database. Then I should give my database to whom? Admin. Then how can I give my database to the admin? By doing some configuration in what? Admins.py. So this module is used for registering the models with admin application. Registering models with what? Admin applications, so that admin can manage what? Your database. Until unless you don't give your database to whom? Admin, then he cannot manage it. He cannot manage it. Suppose I said no, every project will have different users. For example, you join in the company. Who will create employee details? HR. Now there I can say HR is admin, who's responsible is creating what? Employee details. Creating employee. Now for that I don't require to create a separate application. There is already application created by Django. What is that application created by Django? Admin. What I have to do? I have to just register my models with what? Admin. So that using that admin application, I can manage all my models. Models means tables, database, all this I can manage it using which application? Admin application. So this module is used. This module is used for configuring what you are configuring. What you are configuring? Models with which application? Admin application. Okay. Configuring models with which application? Admin application. Admin application. Not only that, customization of, even customization of admin application is done using this module. So you have separate chapter. Don't worry. Even you can customize the admin application. Admin is a inbuilt application, right? You want to customize it. Then how can I customize it? By writing some code in what? Admins.py. By writing some code in admins.py. See here. How many things are there now? First one is which module? Views.py. What is the second one is? Models.py. What is the third one is? Admins.py. What is view? What is a view? View is a Python program. What is the responsibility of view? Taking the input, processing it, and generating output. So always your form submit the data to whom? View. Your form submit the data to whom? View. View will take that form data and process it by communicating with what? Model. Model is used for communicating with database and then generate the output using what? Template. That's all. These are frequently asked question. What is view? There should not be any question mark. अब व्यू मालूम नहीं है बोले तो डिजांगो नहीं मालूम डिजांगो नहीं मालूम कंपल्सरी व्यू मालूम रहे it is a core of Django application. It is the heart of Django application. Everything, anything you want from backend, anything you want from backend, you should ask to whom you should ask. View only. You want login page, you want logout page, you want anything, you should ask whom? View only. Because whatever you are writing, all these programs get executed at which side? Server side. All these get executed at which side? Server side. And you should know that. Understood? Right? So then what is the next one I said? What is the second module? Models.py. What is model represent? What is models represent? Database. What is models represent? Database. Database models are defined within models.py. Models represent database. Model represent what? Table. You define the database models in what? Models.py. Because you are communicating with the database using object-oriented programming and you represent the tables in object-oriented in what? Models.py. Then next one is admins.py. What is admin? Application. What is admin? Application. Which application? Web application. Is it built in? Is it a built-in web application or not? Yes, it is a built-in web application. And you want to manage the models using which application? Admin. You want to manage the models using which application? Admin. Then how you register your models with admin? By using which one? Admin.py. Admin.py. Understood? Right. So understood these three modules? Now, what is the first one is views.py. What is the second one is models.py. What is the third one is admins.py. So what is the next one is apps.py and test.py. यहाँ पे देखे तो मालूम हो जाता है यार. Open VS Code already open, right? इधर है VS Code. This is a VS Code. देखो admins.py. See here. Register your models here. Register. Open करे तो मालूम हो जाता. कुछ नहीं होता. Register your models here. Then views.py. Create your views here. And models.py. Create your models here. Then apps.py. What it is saying? Which configuration? App configuration. This is very much useful. How you generally access your application with one name, right? What is the default name of your application is application 1. Okay, but you want to access with some other name, then you can configure that by using which one? Application dot py. We'll see this. We'll see this. Apps dot py. Anything you can directly open and see it. Nothing will happen. Your system will not crash. Okay. This is this is what your configuration application configuration what module. So for that you are using apps dot py. Generally your project is having how many application? In your project, how many applications are there? Only one application. Array, how many applications are there? One application. One application contain how many modules? Five modules. So by default, your application is accessed with what name? Application name. What is the name of the module is? App 1. Okay. But if you want to access with some other name, you can do that by using which one? Here. Class representing Django application and its configuration. Application configuration dynamically. You can do it by using apps.py. Then there is one more module is there. What is the name of that module is? Test.py. So here you write your test cases. Okay. All test cases you write in test.py. Test.py. After developing project, will you test your application or not? Yes. Okay, you have a different testing like unit testing. Okay, where each unit is nothing but each function or each class, you test it by writing some test cases. Where? In test.py. Okay, so this module is used. This module is used for, this module is used for, this module is used for writing which one? Test cases. Okay, test cases for testing, what do you call it as web application. For testing web application, you are using a test.py, right? Is it this is clear? So how many modules are there? Five modules. What is the first one? Views.py. Second is models.py. Third is admins.py. Fourth one is apps.py. Test.py. Every application compulsory you'll have this three inbuilt modules, five inbuilt modules, right? Then after that, this is a project container folder, and this is called as the configuration modules are there. What is the name of this is asgi.py and wsgi.py, urls.py and settings.py. Now first we'll talk about this settings dot. Yeah, this is clear, right? Next we'll talk about project configuration, uh, project configuration package. Project configuration package contains the following, contain what? Following modules. So there is a modules. Let me explain all these modules. अबे VS कोड नहीं है, कहाँ पे क्रिएट कर सकते हैं आप? You can also create a project in what? Command prompt. यहाँ पे आ जाओ. Then say what? Django admin. Django admin project. Start project P1. Created a then CD. What is this? P1. Python manage dot py. What do you write? Start application A1. Done. Then what do you do it? What do you do it? Can you write the code in ideally? Can you write the code in ideally? Yes. Yes, but will it show any project structure? No. If you want, you can open PyCharm. PyCharm is there. Just uninstall. I'll install the PyCharm and I'll open this. Inside what? PyCharm. Which folder you open? P1 folder. Getting or not? So from here also you can create it. This is also terminal. Is it this is terminal or something else? Terminal only. Okay, now this is also terminal. You are creating a project from where? Terminal. And what is the terminal here? Command prompt. Here there is a separate name. What is the separate name is? Terminal. Here you have a separate name called terminal. Terminal is nothing but command prompt only. It is a command prompt only. You can create from here also. From here command prompt also you can create it. From terminal also you can create it. Terminal, command prompt, both are same. Okay, right? Yes. Now you can see the project is created here. Open this folder. Open this folder here. So open this folder. What is the name of the folder? P1. In P1 there is one application folder. What is the name of the application folder? A1. And inside that there is one package folder is there, right? Yes, project folder with what name? Package name. And there is one module. What is the name of the module? Manage.py. Okay, now you practice up to this and tomorrow I'll tell you what is that urls.py, settings.py, AHGI, WHGI, and we'll develop our first application. Project create कर दिए. Okay. And I'll tell you how to write a view and how to call the view. Okay. So not today, but we'll see tomorrow. Right. Thank you. We'll see tomorrow. Right. अभी ये सिंपल है ना मोहित और इधर मोहित मोहित है चले गए मोहित और इधर इजी है ना यार एल्स में लिखना एल्स में लिखना स्विच केस आई मीन मैच केस यूज करो आप मैच केस वही बोल रहा हूँ, प्रैक्टिस करे तो इंडेंटेशन। वही यार, इंडेंटेशन प्रॉब्लम क्यों आता? बिकॉज ऑफ दैट रीजन। हम्म। प्रैक्टिस करे तो एरर नहीं आता। हाँ बोलो। मेरे को सेंड करो, मैं बोलूंगा। वही, सेंड टू माई मेल आईडी।